Hi, it's your awkward friend again. I'm guessing that's just my thing that I say when I start a video. I have no makeup on, can't be bothered putting makeup on, can't really be bothered filming, but this is kind of the only time I can do it, so I just kind of have to make do and film. Also sorry about the lighting. My computer is here, the window is over there. I don't know if you can see my hands. Window's on the side, so I'm not moving shit around just so I can film. So a few things have happened since I last filmed. So I've mentioned dumping before. So what dumping is basically something doesn't agree with you and your body tries to get rid of it as quickly as possible, either one end or the other. I've been curious about a lot of different things and I've tried a few different things and nothing has ever caused dumping. Apart from, I have had one experience now and it was completely my own fault, complete just lack of thought. So we were doing preschool visits and I went across the road to have a coffee and I ordered what I would order pre-surgery, which is a mocha. Now since surgery I've not been drinking mochas at home. Like I just have normal flat whites, just normal plain boring coffee. But I ordered a mocha and I drank it. And as soon as I started drinking it, I knew that I shouldn't have bought it, that I'd ordered the wrong thing and I shouldn't be drinking it. But I was anxious. It was the first time leaving my son at the preschool and going away for an hour. So I was anxious, I was emotional, so I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to have it. It'll be fine. It wasn't fine. He ended up getting really sick. I had to pick him up early. Ended up in a very high stress situation. Ended up at the hospital with him because of how high his temperature was. And my body wanted to completely clear everything out of my system, but because I was in such a high stress situation, I couldn't. And I'm so surprised that my body held out as long as it actually did. And the floodgates opened as I got home. So dumping sucks. And since then, if I happen to buy a coffee, I don't buy the wrong one. So it is a good reminder to be thoughtful. So yeah, no, it sucks. But it's instant feedback, which is really, really good. So the other thing, which has happened a few times, is what they call foamies. So you'll eat something, doesn't agree with you, or you'll eat a little bit too much and it doesn't sit well and you'll get lots of saliva. It's that right before you're going to vomit where you feel really sick, you just keep salivating, you end up just spitting heaps because you're just full of saliva. That's foamies. I have vomited a couple of times because I would eat that one or two mouthfuls too much, often because I was really enjoying the food, wasn't really looking for my full signs, or I was really engaged in a conversation, or I'm distracted by my child, so it's just not paying attention to my body. Has led to foamies and has led to vomiting a couple of times. So again, it's an instant feedback that I fucked up and I need to be better, which is good, and it's been helpful. And since those occasions, I have been a lot more mindful about stuff, which has been good. Which leads me onto mindless versus mindful eating. So one of the things which I had noticed I was doing, and again, really stressful situations lately with putting my son into preschool, was starting study again for the year, starting back at the gym, which I'll talk about soon, and just trying to get a routine and get everything back going again. So I've been really anxious and I've been really stressed out trying to fit everything in. So I don't expect my husband or anyone else to not eat certain foods just because I'm not. The surgery was for me. It's not on anyone else to change their eatings because I can't eat that stuff. That's not fair. So he has ice cream in the freezer. I've no interest in eating it. I've had a teaspoon of it before. It's so sickly sweet. I don't want to touch it. However, we always have dark chocolate. Pre-surgery, I would eat 4 squares of dark chocolate every day. Now, it started to become a habit of eating chocolate every day because it was just sitting there and I'd see it and I'm like, oh yeah, I have some chocolate. Head hunger, not physical hunger, but a habit which has ingrained over the years. See chocolate, not had chocolate today, let's have some chocolate. So I've asked my husband to put it out of sight. Not hide it from me, just don't have it in plain sight. That way I don't have that mindless non-thought of it's there, I'll eat it. Same things happened with ginger nuts. So he's had a real phase about ginger nuts at the moment. He likes to have ginger nuts with his cup of tea. And that's been really good. I mean, it's been fine, but they've been sitting on the table. So again, really mindless eating. I've been like, oh, I'll just grab a biscuit on my way out the door. Because I'd had one, I was curious, I tried one, satisfied my curiosity. The only problem was the fact that they're not actually overly sweet, and because my tastes have changed, I could really taste the ginger in it, which I really liked. And because it sat well, and because it's not overly sweet, and because I like the ginger flavour, I would see it on the table, grab a biscuit, head out the door, go pick up my son, go do something. Again, that's a habit I need to stop now, because little habits like that lead to way worse habits when it comes to food. So again, I've asked him, just don't put it on the table, put it in the cupboard, put it somewhere where I would actually have to physically think. I would have to actually think about, oh, I have to go into this cupboard to get what I want, not just see it, pick it up and eat it. So he's not hiding food from me and he's not keeping food from me. It's just not set out on the computer desk or in the middle of the kitchen table where I can easily spot it. So if I want some chocolate, I have to actually go and get it. I can't just pick it up. So that's been interesting. But yeah, so at the end of the day, getting surgery was not going to fix everything, and I knew that going into it. I have to work at all the mental stuff that surrounds it. And there's always going to be mental stuff that surrounds it. You can't get to my size and not have some issues around food. And yes, I've been going to the gym for 6 years. And yes, I've been low GI for years. And yes, I have polycystic ovaries, which fucks everything up. But I still have a level of accountability that I got to this size for a reason. And part of that reason was eating shit food. Or eating food that didn't fuel my body or didn't work for my body. Not necessarily junk food, but just food that didn't work for my body. So there's going to be things like this along the way, and I'm going to be transparent about it. Because I have to change these mindsets and I have to fix these little things, because this is for my long-term health. What I put in place now affects my eating habits in 10 years' time. And that's important. That's so important. Another thing is I saw the dietitian again. Caught up with her. She's lovely. Just went over everything. Everything I'm eating is fine. She's not worried about my... she's not worried about me getting in enough protein and stuff like that, because naturally when I am having a snack, if I want a snack in the afternoon, I'll have cheese or whatever. Like now that I've started back at the gym, I'll take a protein bar with me. So, and it's not because I'm worried about not getting enough protein, it's just the fact that when I'm hungry, that's what I want to eat. Like, I want protein. So she's not worried about that. I did learn something very interesting about egg. So egg is something that I still have trouble eating. Some days it's fine, some days it's not. Now, I had figured out that, because I made these little egg cup things, I had figured out that in the morning I'll have a cup of tea while my son's having his breakfast, and I'll start my vitamins for the day. But I normally have to wait between half an hour to an hour before I can actually eat breakfast. Not just because of the fluid and the space thing, but also because I'm more likely to actually be able to eat egg if I wait an hour before I try and eat it. If I leave it less than that, if it's more than half an hour of waiting, I can't really eat it very well. It doesn't sit right. It's not right. So I have to wait longer before I have breakfast. And I definitely can't, we use like a mini muffin tray to cook egg in, and I can't even eat a whole one. I can normally eat 3/4 of it. Can't eat a whole one because it's just too filling. But she said, back to the dietitian said that it's very, very common for bariatric patients to have issues with egg. And now the reason for that is that egg requires the body to produce way more bile than pretty much any other food. It's very hard for your body to actually break down. Now, I don't have a gallbladder, so I don't have this little extra storage of bile anymore. And so most people find that they have to wait longer so that their stomach can fill up with more bile to make it easier to break down. As I said, it's very common. And one of the things which can make it easier is having bitters. Now, it's very hard to find true bitters anymore. So things like really bitter watercress, very hard to find them because bitter's not a taste which we predominantly have anymore. People don't really like it, so it's just been phased out of our diet. But bitter increases the amount of bile production. So the easiest thing is to get a tincture and to use that between like 5 to 15 minutes before you want to eat egg. That'll increase the amount of bile in your stomach and it will make egg easier to eat. So I need to buy some of that. Keep forgetting. This has reminded me. So I thought that was interesting. So I wanted to talk about milestones. So milestones are very important for me. I do try to not get really hooked up on numbers and weight because I didn't go into this just to lose weight. I got into this because I needed to be able to run around after my son. I needed to get my physical fitness back. I needed my physical health back. I needed mobility back. I couldn't keep living the size that I was. It was killing me. So yes, sometimes I talk about numbers and stuff like that, but there is so much more to it than that. The milestones I have are based on numbers because they're significant weight points that I've had in the past. So the first one that I've hit was 125. I've now gone below that. 125 is significant for me because that was the weight I was when I joined the gym for the first time 6 years ago. So for me, getting back down to 125 showed that it was working and that things are changing because I've been this weight before and I know what this is like and I know how my body feels at this weight. I know how to move at this weight because I was this weight for so long, so that I've done this and I can keep doing it. And the next weight is between 115 and 117. Those were the numbers that I kept fluctuating around, and it was the lowest I had been since I was a teenager, and that was my pre-pregnancy weight. So that's the next milestone that I'm heading towards. And again, that's important because that's what I was before I fell pregnant. That's the fittest I had been in so much of my adult life actually ever, that was the fittest I'd ever been in my adult life, and so to get back to that would be really amazing, because again, as I said, I know how to move at that weight. I know how to find clothes, I know how to do things, I know what my body is capable when I'm at that weight. So for me that's important. And then after that it would be getting below 100, because I don't even know the last time I was below 100 kilos. And to me, that it seems achievable but also so unachievable, because I've never managed to do it before. So I will completely lose my shit when I get to under 100. Once I hit 115 to 117, that won't, it'll be good, it'll be amazing. But I've been that weight before and I sustained that weight, so that's nothing new to me. After that it's all new territory and I don't know how to react to it. So I just have to wait and see. So yeah, milestones are important to me because yes, they are based on numbers, but as I said, there are points in my life where things that were significant happened, and I'd done that, I've been there before, so they're just good markers for me to celebrate that things are changing. So what I'm currently sitting at, which I'm not going to say, but I am between 117 and 125 because I've not hit 117 yet. So I have officially lost 30 kgs since January last year, and which means that I've lost 24 kgs since November of last year, which was the start of pre-op. So I had pre-op and then 2 weeks later I had surgery. So from the first day of pre-op until now I've lost 24 kgs. And today is the 3rd of March. So that's significant. That's a crazy amount of weight for me to have lost when I don't ever lose weight. It's weird. And it's hard and it's emotional because unless you've been in this position, you don't fully understand how hard it is to be obese and to be stuck in a body that you hate and to feel like you're doing everything you can and it doesn't change. That's the hardest part of all of it, is putting so much work in for so many years and nothing changed and nothing worked. So surgery has been my only option, and it's not an easy option. It's a hard option. But it was necessary. I had to get my life back. Really needed my life back. The other thing I wanted to mention was I have started back at the gym. And that's been really interesting because I thought I'd be empowered. I thought I'd be so happy to be back in that place and lifting weights and feeling strong. And I don't. I feel like shit. It's so hard going because I was on such a high right before surgery because I'd hit so many goals, and no, I hadn't hit my ultimate deadlift goal, but I was so fucking close. I was 5 kgs off hitting that, and I was so happy with that. That was amazing. And then I start back at the gym and I've lost 24 kgs since 24 kgs since November, and then I've had 2.5 months off for surgery to heal and everything, and I go back and my body doesn't know how to move anymore. The big core muscles can move and take the weight, but all those little muscles that stabilize everything and balance everything. They don't kick in. They don't know how to work. So the strength is there, but the ability to do it isn't. So I've had to scale back, seriously scale back the weight that I'm lifting. And that's been really hard to cope with because I knew that I'd have to. I knew that everything would have to be scaled back, but I didn't realise how much of it. And that's so frustrating. I mean, I'm only like 3 weeks. This is the 3rd week of my program, so I've not been doing it long. And it's going to take time, and I knew it was going to take time. And I'm okay with that fact. And I knew I'd have to drop weight. I knew I'd have to relearn a lot of things. But I didn't realise how much I would have to relearn. And I didn't realise how much I'd have to scale everything back and feel like I'm starting from scratch for the 3rd time. So I'm not finding it empowering at the moment because it's frustrating. The fact that I've had the surgery done for my health, and yet I'm worse off when I'm in the gym. It's just frustrating, and it'll get better, and I know it will. It's just hard because it's something I thought I would be able to bounce back into pretty easily, and I really underestimated how hard it was going to be to get back. But yeah, just gotta keep working at it, keep going, don't give up. I will get back to it whenever I do. It takes time, just like everything else. I mean, for fuck's sakes, I had major surgery to rearrange my damn organs, make them smaller in order to get my body to work better. That's not a small thing. It's going to take time for my body to figure things out again, because I'm now at such a lower weight compared to what I was. My centre of gravity is different. The way my muscles stabilise is different. The fact that I eat so little. There are so many different factors which affects my performance in the gym, but until I started going back I didn't realise how much of an effect it would have, and I think it just kind of shocked me and really threw me because I wasn't expecting it to be quite that different. So it's just something I have to get over, and it's something I have to keep trying, because I'm not going to give up on the gym, because it's part of who I am now. I need it to be me when I don't feel like me, because it's fun. And there are many other reasons which I don't want to go into, because I don't want to cry on camera like I nearly did before. Yeah, I think that's it now. Gone through my list. Bye.